if you have no customer adoption, here are the reasons why most customers don't adopt it. First of all, they don't know about it. You've done a bad job marketing. They don't know about the site. By the way, you could have told them last week, right? Customers need to be told over and over again. Neil Patel talks about how someone needs to hear something 7 times before it actually registers in their head. They don't know about it. You could have told them about it, but they don't know about it. Keep doing the same message over and over again. Next, they don't trust it. They don't trust what you've built for them. They don't trust it often because it's inconsistent. And what's the biggest way that something's inconsistent in a B2B site? Anybody have an answer? Pricing? Did I hear that? Pricing and product data. Absolutely. Pricing and product data are the 2 biggest things. They don't trust it because it's inconsistent. Next, they don't understand it. A couple reasons they don't understand it. First reason is that it's not easy to understand, right? Your site isn't intuitive enough for them just to understand it. It was interesting hearing John talk about the Amazon-like experience. Did you know that Amazon business is not trying to build an Amazon-like experience? Did you guys know that? Like, when you talk to the Amazon business guys, they don't ever say, yeah, we're trying to build this Amazon-like experience. No. What they're trying to do is do something simple. Remove the friction that exists between the customer and the ownership of the products. On the B2C side, by the way, what they say is they want to remove the friction between the customer and buying the product. In the B2B side, they say we want to remove the friction that exists between the customer and owning the product. Owning the product is not just about the purchase. It's about using the product. It's about replacing the product. It's about understanding the product. They want to remove the friction. The number one thing that Amazon is doing right now is that they are building procurement punchouts. They're building procurement punchouts to all of the major e-procurement systems out there. So you know that your customers, many of your bigger customers, institutions, universities, governments, over the last few years, e-procurement sales have gone through the roof across the country in enterprise sales organizations. And the main reason is that companies realize with the internet that their people are now buying from all these different sources, and they need to centralize that, and they need to be able to centralize purchasing. So they install a procurement system, and then they require all their vendors to integrate with that procurement system. Amazon has realized that. Amazon, after talking to their customers, has gone to them and said, how do we remove the friction between the customer and the ownership of the product? And they recognize that the procurement system was the primary way. They've now built over 58 different integrations. And what they want to be is the punch-out catalog, the out-of-the-box punch-out catalog for every e-procurement install. That means when your customer installs the e-procurement system, it automatically has a punch-out to Amazon. Not Amazon.com. Amazon Business has a punch-out to Amazon Business, removing the friction that exists. There's an article that just came out within the last 2 hours out of Seattle Times. It said, John mentioned that Amazon did $1 billion in their first year. They just announced that they're going to be a $10 billion organization this year. The number $1 billion that John referenced was 2016. It's 2018. They 10x that number, $10 billion. They just bought a couple thousand, or maybe even tens of thousands of Mercedes vans to be able to deliver. Your customers don't understand it. It's not intuitive. You haven't thought through how the customer buys and does their job. And then the last category of no adoption is, look, they're never going to use it. You guys have customers. We all know. You have customers that will never use your site, right? I mean, they're still using fax machines. Most distributors that we work with still have a fax machine. I was in an office doing some work after a presentation, and my office was right next to the fax machine. I didn't realize this. The fax machine went all day long. Like it was working all day long. It's not like they just had a fax machine sitting. It was working all day long. You have customers that won't use your site. So don't include them in your numbers. If they're never going to use it, don't try to go get them. you have customers that won't use it.